Never eaten at your friend's house. You want to go eat at your friend's house? That day, you don't sleep home. If you're an African, you should know sign languages. You should know what it means when they twitch their eyes. Like, I can't see, I'm blind. Every African parent in general always want their daughters or sons to be like nurse, doctors, like the science stuff. I'm like, if you don't get 80 and above, like, you've automatically failed. Like, you're just a failure in their eyes. Hey y'all, it's your girl Fia, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Okay guys, this is a part 2 of my previous video, so let's just get right into it. So another stereotype is never eaten at your friend's house. She didn't give it. You want to go eat at your friend's house? That day, you don't sleep home, because let's say you go out with your parents, right? And like they decide to like give you guys food, like make food for you guys. So you have to always be attentive. You have to look at your parents. So you know how like African parents be giving the eye signal and stuff like that. So before you get there, sometimes they tell you that when you're going to this place, do not eat there, because it's just the African stereotype, because they feel like witchcraft and all that. Yes, we believe in witchcraft and stuff like that, especially when you're going to a place that your family is not really cool with them. Then don't do it. But then if you're like cousins, like your family is like really close to them, then of course they have no problem with it. But then if it's like a place where they're not really comfortable with them, then do not do it, because you be sitting at cousin room, and then when you look over your mom or dad is gonna be like they're gonna be doing the eye signal, like switching their eyes and all that. So when they do this and they ask you if you wanna eat and you say yes, they're not gonna say anything. They'll be quiet, and when you come home, you're gonna get a whooping of your life. You're gonna whoop your ass, yes. Because once they do this, it means it's a no. So if you're an African, you should know sign languages. You should know what it means when they twitch their eyes. Because if you do that and they say like they mean no, and you go ahead to eat the food, you've disrespected them, you did not listen to them, and they feel like, yeah. I don't know, this is actually a really funny one, because I don't get why there should really be, I feel like you don't eat everywhere, honestly, you don't eat everywhere. But also, it's really hard, as a kid, it's really hard to say no to an adult, especially if you're already hungry and you went there and they're giving you food. Like, why wouldn't I take it? Like, bruh. You know how kids be taking everything, eating everything, they don't really care who it's from. So it's like, it's really hard and funny as a kid if you're like, let's say you're really hungry and this chicken they're making is gonna be tasty, like it's gonna taste good and all that, and I have to say no because my mom is switching her eyes at me not to take it, and oh yeah, forget it, I didn't see you. Like, I can't see, I'm blind. But yeah, that's basically it for that one. So if you're an African, you gotta know sign languages, or else you're dead. You gonna die, you be dead. Let's talk about this. I believe every African child has experienced this in terms of education. Yeah, getting 100 is A+ to them. Getting 90 to 99 is like A to them. Getting 80 is like, yeah, you could do better. But getting 70, fail. 60, you're done with school. Come and sit home and help me sell cocoa. Like, you're done with school. Like 60, oh, you're not paying attention in class. Come home. I don't know the reason why I'm paying for your school fees and stuff like that. So yeah, that's basically how they see it. They have this perception that like once you get like 80 and below, you have automatically failed the class. And it's really crazy to me, because it's not easy to get an 80, especially in college. High school, now I understand high school is a bit okay to actually get that. Like high school, it's pretty easy to get 90 to 100 every time on your tests and exams and all that, like whatsoever. But with college, it's not easy to get a 90 to 100. Like, come on, like let's be for real. But with African parents, they feel like if you don't get 100 or a 90, you failed the class. If you get an 80, it's like acceptable, but you could do better. they just want a every time, bro. And I'm like, chill. It's really crazy how like they expect so much from us, but then at the same time they didn't even really even get to the level that we are at. So I feel like they should appreciate that we are at least trying, because she just be in school, study, and have a social life all together is a struggle, y'all. And to get a 90 to 100, yo, it's a big struggle. So I feel like they're really hard on us. Like, I know I get the reason why they're like, oh yeah, you should get 90 and above and stuff like that. Like, you know, they're trying to be hard on us so we can actually learn more, but that's not the case. This is, if you're an African parent watching this, I will tell you that you thinking your child should always get 90 to 100 is usually not helping, because it makes them feel like they're a failure anytime they get below that requirement. Because if they don't get like 90 to 100 and they get below that, the way you guys will react to it is like, oh yeah, you should do better and stuff like that. So it's like, you don't see their hard work. Like, you don't see our hard work, you don't see how much effort and, you know, tears we put into it to get like an 80 in that class. Sometimes it's just really crazy because like the professors are really hard on us, and if you get a professor that's like really, that's not good, then like just know that, yeah, your faith is like over or something. African parents always want you to get like 80 and above. If you don't get 80 and above, like, you've automatically failed. Like, you're just a failure in their eyes. And it's really sad. Like, I feel like a lot of kids get hurt. Like, some kids actually have to try hard through sweat and tears. Like, it's really sad because all they want to do is just impress their parents. But sometimes I'm like, mental health matters, because doing all these stuff, you don't think, oh my gosh, like, is it really helping me mentally? Like, you know, even though I'm trying to impress my parents, am I okay? Do I feel mentally okay? And that's the thing too, I feel like parents don't realize that our mental health really matter. And anytime you try to speak on that, it's like, yeah, you're trying to be this type of way, but no, because like they only expect you to get an 80 and above. And I'm like, I bet if your ass was in school, you probably not be getting 80 and above every damn time on an exam. Yeah, so I feel like they're kind of a bit selfish, and yeah, because I'm not sure they'll be doing the same thing we're doing if they were in school. Sometimes they just gotta go to school and experience the school life before they can actually have an opinion, have a voice in our education. Then they will actually realize how hard and difficult it is to actually achieve like an 80 and above. So yeah, that's my opinion. Also, when it comes to like decisions, they always want to make decisions for you. That's one thing, and I kind of hate it sometimes, because like I feel like we should be at an age where we should make our own decisions. Because let's say when you go to college, you're not gonna call your mom to like make decisions for you every day. Like, it doesn't work like that. So sometimes they have to just let us make decisions. Sometimes we might not make the best decision, but at the end of the day, whatever decision you make, you have to face your own consequences. So I feel like sometimes we have to go through the worst to actually learn. You know, we don't always have to go through the right path just because you think it's the right path. They try to decide your career pathway for you, especially in college. Like, if you're an African and you're going to college, before you had to like make the college decision, every African parent in general always want their daughters or sons to be like nurse, doctors, you know, like the science stuff. I'm like, sir, not everyone wants to be a doctor or a nurse. This is what they have to like get. Like, and not everyone wants to be like into nursing or doctoring. Like, not everyone wants to be a doctor or nurse or, you know, like stuff like that. And what is really sad about that is that if you don't follow their pathway or if you don't obey whatever they say, is like you're a total disappointment to them. Like, you're not trying to listen to me, you're being disobedient, you're disrespectful, you're disappointment, all that this, you know, all the negative stuff. But yeah, it's really sad because sometimes you have a big dream where, let's say you want to be an artist. You cannot be an artist in an African home. No, you cannot be an artist. No, unless you have like really cool parents, you cannot be an artist, because they have this like, they degrade certain career pathway that, like, let's say if you want to be an artist, they feel like, oh no, you cannot be an artist and make a living out of that. Like, you should be a nurse or a doctor. That's where, you know, the money comes and all that. And sometimes I don't blame them. Like, but then also, like, I feel like there's a nice way to put it. Let's say in United States, right, being a doctor or nurse is like, it's really beneficial because people need doctors every day, people need nurses every day, so it's like you are always needed wherever you go, so you get to have an income everywhere, like every time and stuff, like you're never out of business. So I actually understand that part, but also it's like you just don't wake up one day and be like, oh yes, I'm gonna be a doctor, and you just snap your fingers and you're a doctor. It doesn't work that way. You have to put in a lot of effort, y'all. Like a lot of effort. It's through tears and sweat. Like it's not easy taking college courses, like college classes. It's really hard. And to think about doing nursing, you guys, nursing, doctor, being on the pre-med track and stuff like that is really hard. They make it seem so easy. I'm like, okay, if you guys make it seem so easy and really interested, why are you not a doctor? Why don't I have doctor parents or whatever? Why are you not a doctor? Like, I'm like, it makes no sense. Be the leader and I'll follow you, basically. African parents shouldn't determine what kind of career pathway you should go through, because at the end of the day, it's just you and you alone. You are the only one going to go through this pathway. No one else. They're not gonna be behind you, supporting you through every step of the way. They're not gonna help you pass your exams. They're not gonna help you study. So at the end of the day, it's you and your decision, because you are the one going to make this work for you. So if you feel like that's not for you, then don't do it. Honestly, don't do it just because you want to please your parents. If you genuinely feel like, oh yes, you are interested in it, then sure, go for it. But if you're not really interested in it and you just want to do it for the satisfaction of your parents, then please don't do it. Because at the end of the day, once you get that job and you start working, it will get to a point in time like you're making the money, but then also it's like, am I even happy? Yeah, you'd be like, am I even happy? And yeah, that's where like there is remorse, regret, and like all those stuff in it. So yeah, just go for it if that's what you want. But if that's not what you want, just go through your own pathway, because at the end of the day, it's just gonna be you and you only. Why do I feel like I'm giving this whole speech on advice? But yeah, you guys, this brings me to the end of the video. Hope you liked it, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We out for the day.